For the first DIY, I'm taking one of the Easter cutting board signs from the Dollar Tree. They had these during Easter. If you don't have one of these signs, Dollar Tree does carry the plastic cutting boards you can find in the kitchen area. I will be giving it 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum flat spray paint in the color black. Next, I'm taking the Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and I will be giving the center of the cutting board 2 coats. Next, I'm going to be using this free printable I got from this Southern Girl Cans website. I will link it in the description box below. I printed it off in 5x7 on regular printer paper. Next, I'm going to be using Mod Podge in the matte finish and applying a layer to the center. Then I'm placing the image on top, making sure I get it as centered and straight as possible. Then smoothing out the bubbles with my fingers. Next, I'm applying more of the Mod Podge all over and letting it dry. Next, I'm taking jute twine from the Dollar Tree, and starting on the back side, I'm adding a little hot glue. I will wrap the handle a few times. Stopping just before I get to the rounded part of the handle. Now I'm taking some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, and I will be using it to frame out the image using hot glue. Next, I'm taking the nautical rope and placing it around the outside edge of the center area. Now I'm taking one of the miniature brooms from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be cutting it down so that it fits the bottom of the sign. I'm cutting off the handle with wire cutters. And then I went in with the wire cutters to cut the bristles off the end of the broom, but I ended up switching over to scissors because it made it a lot easier and quicker. So I would recommend using scissors to cut the broom. I'm going to attach the broom to the bottom of the sign using hot glue. Now I'm going to be adding this cute little bow that I made using ribbon from the Dollar Tree and attaching it to the handle just below the twine using hot glue. And lastly, to represent the spell book, I will be adding this eyeball from the Dollar Tree to the center of my bow. And here is the finished product. I think it turned out really cute. First, I'm taking these burlap pumpkin treat bags from the Dollar Tree. They come 4 in a pack. Next, I'm cutting the bags down the seam sides on both sides. and across the bottom. I will do this with all 4 bags. Now I'm taking one of the bags and folding it in half, and then cutting it from the bottom folded edge at an angle. Then I'm cutting about 3 inches off from the top of the bag. I will do this with all 4 bags. Next, I'm going to be using some of the jute twine from the Dollar Tree. I will also be using 5 black pom-poms from the Dollar Tree. I will be running a thin line of hot glue across the top of the bags, and then leaving about 3 inches of the twine on the end so that I can tie it to something if I need to later. Then I'm taking the twine across the hot glue then adding a pom-pom on the side of the bag using a small dab of hot glue. Then I'm adding another pom-pom to the other side. And then adding another bag. I will repeat this process using the other bags and pom-poms. So this is how it turned out. I think it's super cute and really easy to make. I will be using the burner covers from the Dollar Tree. They come 2 in a pack, a larger one and a smaller one. I will be using 4 wooden beads, one of the candle holders from the Dollar Tree, E6000 glue, sandpaper, and the Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte Spray Paint in the color black. First, using sandpaper, I will scuff up both burner covers front, back, and sides. Taking the wooden beads and E6000, I'm placing the beads on the front of the larger burner cover, about 1 inch in from the outside edge, getting them as evenly spaced as I can. Next, I'm taking a ruler and marking the center of the larger burner cover. This is so I can get the candle holder as centered as I can. I'm adding E6000 to the bottom of the candle holder, then placing it in the middle of the burner cover. Next, I'm adding E6000 to the top of the candle holder, then placing the smaller cover on top with the front facing down, getting it as centered as I can. Then I will be giving it 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum spray paint. Here it is all done. I think it turned out really cute. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.